What's up? What's up? Mike DelPrete here, Executive Director of AZREIA, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, and we are continuing our session on the success principles by Jack Canfield. So what I do here is break down a chapter every day in Jack's book, The Success Principles. Highly recommend getting it. You can go online and get it. You can give it wherever books are sold. So I'm just making sure everything's set up here as always. Make sure we're streaming. Make sure to drop your questions in the chat as you like. Let's see, home. There we go. We are live. That works. So, all right, Mike DelPrete, AZREIA, Real Estate Investors Association here in Arizona. And what I'm doing here is discussing the success principles, and there's 64 principles inside Jack's book. And I am doing this because it changed my life. It changed the way I think. Before we talk about real estate investing, strategies, accounting, depreciation, income, equity, leverage, all that stuff, you got to be right up here, right? I couldn't. You are where you are at today is where your mind has taken you. So if you're not where you want to be, you need to change the way you think, change the way you act, change the way you do things. So for me, I had to do that if I wanted more and wanted to take care of my family and have a better life and go on vacation and not have this crappy job and all that stuff. So it was a combination of a lot of things, but a big impact on me was this book. So I am dedicated to reading every chapter, and yes, I do read it, not the entire chapter, but from there I will then give personal experiences, life experiences as I became a business owner and real estate investor. So if you're on that journey as well, you can learn from my mistakes and my experiences, hear my stories. Sometimes they're long stories, and sometimes they're short. So any interest in real estate investing, check out azreia.org, AZREIA. Check us out. In the description, we have a link to a bunch of free ebooks for you to kind of see what it's all about. So I'll just jump in. So chapter 32, we're discussing transcend your limiting beliefs. Now, 64 principles. You got to go back to number one. If you like what you hear today, you got to go back to number one, and because they're foundational steps and they all build upon each other. So don't get overwhelmed, right? 64 steps. Hey, one day at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Do one step, understand it, participate, use it when you're ready. It could be a day later, a week later, I don't care, but just get through it. Start that new behavior. So today is transcending your beliefs. So a lot of great quotes in this book. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. If you say, I can't afford it, your subconscious mind works to make it true. Select a better thought, decree. I will buy it. I accept it in my mind. So many of us have beliefs that limit our success, whether they're beliefs about your own capabilities, beliefs about what it takes to succeed, beliefs about how we should relate with other people, or even common myths that modern day science or studies have refuted. Moving beyond your limiting beliefs is a critical first step towards becoming successful. You can learn how to identify those beliefs that are limiting you and then replace them with positive ones that support your success. So you're capable. One of these most limiting beliefs apparent today is the notion that somehow we are not capable of accomplishing our goals, despite educational materials available, especially today. Like, this book's like 20 years old. So, but at the end of the day, there's books, there's podcasts, there's Google search, there's Chat GPT. There's no reason you can't grab any piece of information that you possibly need about anything. So despite all the facts out there, and we choose instead to say, I can't do that. I don't know how. There's no one to show me how. I'm not smart enough. When I got into real estate investing, I found at this time there was still a lot of information out when I started 14 years ago, but YouTube was just kicking off, Facebook was just kicking off, and if you wanted real estate education, you had to pay for it, right? You had to be like $5,000 to get a bunch of CDs and all this stuff. So I found the gentleman that had 100 free YouTube videos on how to wholesale real estate. No money down, no credit, all that type of stuff. Didn't believe it, didn't understand it. I just knew I wanted to try something different, and he says I can make $5,000. So that was my inspiration. So I watched the videos and I did something, crazy with it. When I was telling friends and family, I'm trying this real estate thing, right? What do you think? Real estate is the biggest purchase of your life. It's the American dream. And I'm going to go out there and buy and sell these things over and over and over again with no credit, no money, all that stuff. So I looked crazy to your immediate circle, right? So I watched those videos and I applied them. And in 45 days, I made $4,200. So I still when I had the check, I didn't even want to cash it. I didn't know what to expect. I never saw anything like that. So it's very easy to be limiting on our beliefs, and this could come from childhood programming, whether they knew it or not. Our parents, grandparents, and other adult role models told us, that's too much for you to handle. Let me do that for you. Maybe next year you can try. We take this sense of inability into adulthood, and then it gets reinforced through workplace mistakes and failures. But what if you decided to say instead, I can do this. I am capable. Other people have accomplished this. If I don't have the knowledge, there's someone out there that can teach me. You make the shift to competence and mastery. The shift is thinking. Thinking can mean the difference between lifetime of could-haves versus accomplishing what you really want in life. So, very important. Like this baseline, even at different levels. Like, so when I remember I wanted to get into real estate with no money. I had no money, so I had to kind of go the wholesaling route. And then when it came to buying and selling a bunch of houses, I was like, well, I probably should keep one of these as a rental. Then now I'm like, oh my God, I got to raise money. No one's going to lend me money, even though I just wholesaled 60 houses and I had a bunch of money in the bank and I knew what I was doing. I still thought all the relationships I built, I assumed someone wouldn't give me that money, right? So even now, as you grow as an investor, there's just raising more money, you're starting funds, buying larger multi. You don't have to go that route, but ultimately you're always growing and you still get these. So it's okay, it's normal, but it's just part of the process of overcoming it. So many people don't believe they're competent to handle life's challenges. Two main pillars of high self-esteem: believing that you are capable of handling anything that comes up in your life means that you are no longer afraid of anything. And think about it like this: haven't you handled everything that has ever happened to you? Things that were far more difficult than you thought they would be. The death of a loved one, divorce, being broke, loss of a friend, loss of a job, bad reputation. These things were tough, but you handle them. So we all deal with it. One thing we were guaranteed, there's no one that ever said there's never going to be a problem in life, right? The Bible, nothing. No one's ever said it's just going to be easy peasy, roll through life. So, and you're here right now, so I guarantee you experienced some problems and you got through it. So that means you can get through whatever you're trying to accomplish or looking to accomplish. Believing you are worthy of love means that you believe I deserve to be treated well with respect and dignity. I deserve to be cherished and adored. I am worthy of a fulfilling relationship. I won't settle for less. I will do whatever it takes to create that for myself. So then book kind of goes into how do you overcome this, right? And like I said, we all go through this. Even if I have to speak on stage or in a podcast, I still get nervous. But it's like you gotta just overcome those beliefs. So here's the book kind of goes over some things that we could do to overcome that, right? So in addition to believing we are incapable or somehow not deserving, we often suffer from other limiting beliefs too. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm not smart. I'm not smart. I'm too old. I'm too young. Um, they never pick me to run the project. Even if I don't like this job, I need financial security. Nothing I do is ever successful. You can't get rich in this town. So all these this random things that we might say to ourselves. So here's a simple 4-step process you can transform any limiting belief. Identify the limiting belief that you want to change. Start by making a list of any beliefs you might have. So this one's saying, I'm stupid. You're not smart enough to go to college. Money doesn't grow on trees. You don't know how to do anything right. Nobody's interested in your opinion. Men don't cry. People aren't interested in your problems. So there's all these lists that we kind of face every day. So when you're finished creating this list, pick a belief that you think is still limiting you and take yourself through the remaining 3 steps of the process. Determine, so let's just pick nobody's interested in your opinion. Okay, so determine how the belief limits you. Then decide how you want to be, act, and feel. So if nobody's interested in your opinion, determine how that limits you. If I feel no one's interested in my opinion, it limits me because I probably won't speak up, right? I won't talk about what's on my mind, or I won't be able to communicate as well. And if you don't communicate as well, you probably are not gonna get the results you want, or people aren't gonna understand your feelings or your thoughts. Things won't change. You will be bottling things up. So all that can be an issue. Decide how you want to be, act, and feel. I want people to understand and respect my opinion. I want them to hear me out. I want to hear them out. That will be relieving. It'll make me feel more confident and more appreciated, right? So that's how you'd want to feel. And create a turnaround statement that affirms or gives you permission to be, act, and feel this new way. It's okay to ask for help. I am worthy of receiving all the support I need. So it would be a positive, not interested in your opinion. People want to hear my opinion. I am confident to give my thoughts and opinions to the public, right, or to my friends and family. So you just got to reframe the way where these negative thoughts are, right? Because remember, your subconscious mind will do what you tell it. So if you feel no one wants to hear you, you're not going to speak up, and you're just going to be miserable all the time. But if you tell yourself people want to hear you, you got to grow that muscle, just like any muscle from working out. You got to put in the reps. Keep telling yourself people want to hear, and then start expressing and get feedback and make yourself better. So that was pretty cool. So I like that one. So limiting beliefs, they're out there. We all have them. You're not alone. So but you got to speak up, right? Whatever it is, or you got to act out, right? So if you want to jump into this business, you got to start reading books, getting a mentor, get a coach, apply the information that you are learning, right? Real estate is real. It's happening every day. Don't listen to the news, whether it's up or down. There's ways to enter this business and be successful, profitable, change your future. So you can go check us out, AZREIA.org. If you're in Phoenix or in Arizona, we do about 15 events a month. So come check us out, meet people really doing it, people actually in deals, meet the attorneys, meet the air conditioner companies, meet the landlords, meet the fix and flippers, meet the wholesalers. We all get together and hang out. Successful people hang out with successful people. And if you're learning to get into the business, you're never wasting anybody's time. What I've found in the real estate investing business, that people want to help. They want to bring you up. They want to share resources. They want to be there for you. Okay, so when I walked into my first AZREIA meeting, there's hundreds of people, and I was like, everyone's a millionaire. No one's gonna want to waste their time with me. Wrong. Totally different than what I expect. That was my limiting belief. I went into this business thinking no one would want to help, but when it come to find out, as you become successful, you're only successful because people pull you up and people want to help because they were helped. So right, whereas the book was saying we take our childhood experiences the way it's not, our parents, our grandparents, they didn't do it on purpose. Maybe they did. They didn't know any better. hey, money doesn't grow on trees, or hey, you can't do that, or what you can't go to college, whatever it is. They're just doing what your grandparents told them, and then they're doing that with you. So you're just breaking the cycle. So when you go to a real estate event here at AZREIA, you're with successful people, and they're like, hey, I changed that in my life. I got past that cycle from my family, and I'm actually doing it. And everything I learned, that's my example. Everything I learned is pretty much not true. So I found out for myself. So now I take this attitude when I meet other investors, and I take this attitude when with my son. So he has that concept that real estate does work, and it is easy, and you can make it happen. So do that for yourself. So next one here, next principle: develop 4 new success habits. So the next episode live, we will jump on that. Like I said, go back to number 1, work your way back up to 33, and that's a wrap.